My first year of high school was 1997, and when I got to the school, it was a whole nother world. So, I quickly became a product of my environment. I didn't finish high school, that wasn't even a thing. I had like maybe 3 DUIs, to the point where they were starting to put me in prison. And I was like, wait a minute, this ain't gonna work, prison? So I applied to work at a fitness place, and I got a job there. And, I did everything that they told me to do, and every year I grown. So I went from a full-time sales manager to an assistant general manager, to a general manager, to area manager, to a regional fitness manager. So I had all of these different roles while I was trying to pursue my GED, and I just couldn't get it done because I had more responsibility with work. Going to school kind of just fell always to the back burner because it was like too much to manage at that particular time. So I started my GED journey in 2016. I didn't get it done to 2025. I kept failing and failing and failing. I kept coming back. I had life, get in the way, of course, and I would stop. I come back, life get in the way, of course, again. So finally, 2024 is where I really just started taking it really serious, and I got it done April 30th, 2025, and it meant the world to me and my family that I finally got it done. So I have 3 sons, Rayvon, Rashawn, and Ramir, and they mean the world to me. I'm pushing those guys to go to school, and I had to think to myself, wait a minute, I didn't go to school. So how can I push them and I didn't do it? So, that was another big, reason for me, really getting back into school to show those guys that, you can do it. It's never too late to be great. So I'm going to school to learn business and entrepreneurship because my goal is to open up my own fitness center one day, to be able to get back to the community, to help people build confidence, to let them know that this is not just some hype. This is a place where you can come and feel welcome and no judgment and help them, learn every possible thing that they can to be healthy. To find out that I was awarded a scholarship, I jumped up to the ceiling and was like, yes! Because it took a lot of the load off me, saying that, hey, now that I can really focus and study on learning and don't have to worry about, the financial responsibility of, paying for college courses. So that scholarship that I received, I couldn't be more grateful, and I really thank those guys from the bottom of my heart because, what would I do without it? I met some wonderful friends here, some wonderful instructors, wonderful dean. I thank them from the bottom of my heart for not giving up on me, even when I felt like I couldn't do it. They told me I can do it, and they pushed me to do it, and they motivated me to do it. So I am forever grateful for Moraine Valley Community College, and I'm loving that, I'm getting my college education here. So I'm grateful. Thank you, Moraine Valley Community College.
College for me started at Moraine Valley, and once I found out I was moving, a lot of my credit hours and classes didn't transfer. The same program wasn't available there anymore. I took a few classes, but at that point in time I put my college career on hold and started to work for myself. Last summer my nephew started working for me after he graduated high school, and him and I had made an agreement over the summer that if he would sign up to Moraine Valley that I would do the same and maybe take a look and see how close I was to my degree and maybe even finish that. And little did I know the path I'd travel because of that simple agreement, and here I am. My brother achieved a lot of things in these walls, in this very building that we're sitting in now. Losing him last December was difficult, and although I'd already planned to go to school and had this little agreement with my nephew, I just knew with how much turmoil our family was in, we had to at least move forward if we couldn't move on, and this was a good way to do it, and it kept us busy in a positive way, and everybody here was that encouraging about it. It just, a part of it felt like home, a part of it felt like it's where I needed to be. I would like to say thank you to the Moraine Valley Foundation for the scholarship. Every little bit helps. I don't know I'd be even enrolled in a class if I didn't receive that. It wasn't just the financial help, it was the motivation to keep going. It was somebody believing that you're really on the right track. I had a lot of people question as to, well, why are you going back to school? You finished your degree. What is this going to serve in your future? How is this going to help? Everybody here was just thrilled I was going to keep going. They knew and saw my determination, and even in writing that essay, somebody saw that too. So thank you, and it made a difference in more ways than you could imagine. So even if 1 out of 100 you help huge, you helped at least one. But I know my nephew included, there's 2. So thank you. The one big lesson, the one thing that I learned most out of all this is everything became possible again. I started to think, well, I wanted to be a doctor, I could. If I wanted to get into finance, I could. If I wanted to get into a trade, I could. I literally felt like a kid again, where the whole world was my oyster. I could do really whatever I want. Changing in a career path, I mean, it's a scary thing, but it starts to become possible. A different future, big dreams, I mean, it takes work, but it's possible.